Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have all been waiting for. Vici Gaming taking on Evil Geniuses, both teams with some new rosters. And FY God back where he belongs on the main Vici Gaming brand. I'm LD. I'm joined here by GoDz. GoDz, I know a lot of people very curious to see how EG will do with a new captain in the form of Crit, a lot of superstar players. But will they gel? Will they have the team synergy they need to succeed? That's the question.
It is. A lot of people talk about this roster as one of the most star-studded rosters ever. It kind of reminiscent of maybe some of the old Secret lineups, the old DK Dream Team. This is very close to being a dream team, but I mean, the biggest question mark and change is going to come for Crit. He's transitioning over to the 5 position support, very different playstyle to what he used to do as a 4. He's also the captain, the drafter for this team. It's a team where they're all good friends. They know each other well. They get along well. So from that point of view, it should be easy to work with this team. It's just whether or not how they're going to deal with adversity. If they start losing, how will they handle it? Will they have a game plan going in? So I'm really curious to see how Crit adjusts.
Yeah, let's see what the boys are going to cook up on the side of Vici Gaming, of course. They are playing with Yang, someone who was sorely missing for the team at TI. And the respect ban comes early here on his Bat Rider. So I think that was really the story of Vici Gaming at TI. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the real Vici Gaming. So they did end up making a bit of a roster change, GoDz. They have the Ugly Ghost now in tow. I know Jack, Korean Barbecue, he was talking about how he thinks one of the big players to watch in China, one of the potential new superstars after the roster shuffle is Ghost. So I'd love to hear the story of why he's the Ugly Ghost, but for now he's just the Ghost. He doesn't think he's ugly, but maybe Jack disagrees.
Well, EG Crit, he's on his own Kool-Aid. He's picking Coddle, Ursa. He doesn't care what everyone else is picking. He's got his own heroes and plan. I don't even know what to say about this. There's not even much to analyze. This is just Crit having heroes that he thinks are good, that suit his team, that he wants to play.
So a different draft here. First overall pick, Keeper of the Light. Ursa second pick. On the side of Vici, they grab the Kunkka. They get the Void. It feels similar-ish to what Newbie was doing. A bit of a different order of operations. But thoughts on Ursa this early, GoDz? Hero strengths, like what is the reasoning behind an Ursa grab in the first phase?
Arteezy likes playing the hero. I think that's a big part of it. He's played it in the past. It's a comfort pick for him in a lot of ways. It's pretty good against the Void in lane because you can build up the Fury swipes even after he time walks away, so you're decent at zone. With a Coddle, you're amazing at zoning. This lane is like Coddle Mana Leak keeps him in place, and then Ursa tears away. If you run away, you get Mana Leak, you lose your mana, you get stunned, Ursa kills you. So Coddle and Ursa have great synergy together, and I think for EG, they're probably just comfort picks, something they've played in scrims and have had success with, but beyond speculation, like that's really all I can say about these two.
The other thing I guess Ursa really does bring is if they run him as a safe laner, he zones Void very well. If you ever catch him out, you can you have the better base move speed, you can force out the time walk, especially those first couple levels of time walk. It is a long cooldown, so maybe EG just looking to dominate that potential off-lane Void. Though we have occasionally seen the safe lane Void, so no guarantees that will indeed be Yang's hero in the off-lane, but time will tell. As the Draw Ranger will get banned here in the second phase. EG don't really have the most reliable initiation coming from Keeper, though they do have some D-push. And now the 4th ban for VGR. Or, well, I wanted to say VGR. Sorry, VG, excuse me.
Yeah, they're now, I guess, the official VG team.
Yeah, so someone in chat's like, what are you talking about? Vici wasn't at TI. Stupid caster. But yes, for those who didn't know, the old VGR is now the new main Vici Gaming roster, which I think is only fair given their performance.
EG's turn to ban.
Yeah, one got to TI, one didn't, so well, burning now. And I think the VGR, well, the old VG team is kind of fallen apart / no longer a team. So we're going to see how this new promoted VG team can do. As you said, Ghost, one of the big players to look out for, one of the kind of big young stars to emerge out of the roster shuffle, someone who's, I don't know about being sought after, but someone who's already been fairly impressive on the new Vici team. So looking forward to see him play.
Yeah, and as for Vici, they ban out the Storm now, so certainly a Sumail special, also something that goes really well with the Keeper of the Light, and you know, Kunkka Void is not really the most reliable catch for a Storm. Like, even if you hit that torrent, you pretty much have to commit the Chrono to kill him, and it's not a guaranteed grab if he's really quick on his reactions. So I like that ban. It's kind of like a comfort ban in a lot of ways for VG. And how the Rays are getting removed by EG, someone who is very annoying for Mr. Ursa.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, annoying for Ursa. Maybe a counter to something that EG wants to pick for the mid lane for Sumail as well. So that's what Vici looked to do. And as far as tests go, Sumail probably one of the biggest tests as far as mid players diverse for Ghost. So he's going to have to be bringing his A game. But now Vici Gaming go with a lot more of what we see. This is sort of identical to what we saw coming out from Newbie in the last game. Oracle to go with the Void Kunkka, very much picking to what is currently like the quote-unquote meta game, at least in the Chinese Ghost.
Well, and that's the interesting thing is these teams have like it's a very small meta game, and it is a little bit different from TI. A lot of the same faces, some twists here and there, but they've actually been playing online. Most of the top Chinese teams, not the case for most of the Western teams, God. So they look similar in their drafts. Maybe felt like Newbie was a bit more polished in the last series, and on the other side, like you've got EG opening with a Coddle. Yeah, Secret went for it, but it wasn't this early. Getting the Ursa first phase, definitely different looks, and will be interesting to see. We're likely going to have a new patch soon anyway, I imagine. But as long as this patch is in effect, will the Western teams kind of converge towards a similar style of play?
For now, it looks like VG are just doing their own thing. They pick an Axe and Ursa, Coddle. They want to play like run at you, fighting style Dota. They're going to be playing super aggressive with Axe Ursa. These are not heroes that want to go late game or that scale necessarily, so they want to control the early to mid game.
Yeah, they definitely have good heroes to deal with the illusions in that early to mid game. With the Axe the Keeper. Come later game, of course, they will struggle a lot. But Vici Gaming, so far I would say definitely the team fight supremacy. I guess the question is, though, how are EG looking to lane this? We have seen Ursa go mid at times. I mean, you mentioned more likely they're a TZ hero. And he is expected to play that bottom lane primarily. But as I say that, EG grabbed the Naga, and I gotta ask you, GoDz, any chance of a support Naga this game?
Definitely a chance. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a red herring that you see the Naga and you think, ooh, Arteezy Naga or something. They're playing a super late game hero out of this, but you can easily use this to set up the team fight, just reset. It's very strong with the Riptide, minus armor to go with the Ursa, so it can fill both niches here. It just kind of depends what EG are looking for with their overall game plan and how they want to win the game. If they want to play more late game, split push, avoid the team fight, I mean, Void Kunkka TB, very scary 5-man team fight, and that's where Naga split pushing can be strong. But at the same time, if you do well in the early to mid game with a Naga, who's a very solid laning hero, you can also take that approach to dealing with Vici Gaming.
Final round of bans now. Vici Gaming, they've got their support duo. And with the Terrorblade pick, it does look like an off-lane Void, so they'll be looking for their mid laner, GoDz, and not exactly knowing who's going to be mid. Is it a Naga mid? Is it an Ursa mid? Do we see an Axe off-lane most likely? But you're not entirely sure who you're going to be laning against. Good news for Vici, though, is they have the last overall pick, so they can just sit back, wait, and try to counterpick as they go into this fifth selection.
That does make it a bit easy. And that's where the Naga fourth pick, it's as much as you want to say, oh, they've picked this hero that can be core or support. I mean, EG are going to know, I mean, Vici Gaming are going to know by the time they see that last pick come out which one it is. So shouldn't be too much of a surprise for them. And mid lane is, I mean, pretty open. They probably want some damage to go on the Chrono, Puck, Invoker type heroes. Maybe not Invoker because he's a bit vulnerable to the Axe Ursa getting jumped on, but could be a decent game for someone like a Puck.
Yeah, I do feel like EG would benefit from another initiator, and I kind of prefer the Naga here as a support to counter the Chronosphere. That's something we have seen. We saw quite a bit of support Naga out of the team in the past. It was mainly AUI playing it back at TI5, but I'm sure it's well within Zai's wheelhouse to do so, and then you can throw crit on that hard support Keeper of the Light. As EG ban the Sniper. What do you think about that?
And Vici, they played Sniper once. It was them who played it at TI. So FY has picked this hero for his team before. I guess you're like, well, remember this time they played it and won some Dota with Mikasa on Sniper. Let's ban that out. I think it was Mikasa. Him or Nona, one of the two.
Yeah, I think it was Mikasa, but Tinker is the pick for EG, so it is in fact the support Naga. Kind of expected it versus the Void, and given EG's history of running that hero as a support. GoDz, the catch is not great for Tinker. You have X, yes, good long-range initiation, and the Chrono, but you don't have really any vision at all here. No Bat Rider.
10 seconds
That's been
remaining.
banned out. They've waited a long time to unleash the Tinker, and he's great against
5
Terrorblade as well
seconds
with the
remaining.
Ags. What do Vici look to do here?
This last pick is hard. I mean, the
Reserve
puck is
time.
like an alright option, has a bit of catch, it's alright in lane, but it's not like a game-winning type hero. It may just be it's a kind of stable pick you can throw in. Something a bit more out there is maybe like a Zeus or something to give vision and to give you a huge amount of damage for the Chronosphere. You can use the ulti to scout the Tinker out as well, but I think options for Vici are somewhat, very limited here going into
10
this final
seconds
pick, and they don't have
remaining.
long to think about it.
And I don't think they want to necessarily take it late. Tinker
5
just
seconds
destroys that
remaining.
TB army
Yeah.
later on.
Oh, TB is really bad matchup versus Tinker. So Timbersaw, they want to have a strong mid-game fighting hero, and Ghost will be taking that to the mid lane.
Good to have against Ursa and Axe, someone that needs to be dealt with early in fights, that does potentially free up the TB and can go very well with the Oracle, but it does not solve their vision problems really at all. So I like EG's draft. How about you? Do you favor either team?
Yeah, I'm liking EG a bit more. It's hard to say because like Vici's got this mostly standard stable draft we've seen, and it's been executed well. I'm sure they practiced it time and time again. For EG, it's a bit of this like mystery factor. How well can they do with this aggressive style Ursa Axe with the Sumail Tinker alone? If you told me Sumail was going to play Tinker against the Terrorblade, I'd be putting money on EG like every single time just based on that matchup.
10
So
seconds remaining.
definitely prefer EG just based on that alone.
5
All right.
seconds
Well,
remaining.
let's see how things shake out here, as we will have Yang back with his old teammates, and he will be playing the offlane Void. It will be Ghost, their new mid player, and that was really one of the big vacuums with the team. Yeah, they didn't have Yang, and that hurt them, but they also didn't have consistent mid play down the stretch. Mikasa did the best he could, but as a coach suddenly being forced to stand in a TI, it was a tall
Look
order.
at FY stalking Zai here. He saw him TP in. He's trying to find the ward, and he will do so.
Does he try to set up for a kill? It's going to be tough, but Vici do have 3 heroes smoked. And FY will get revealed. So he's hoping that Zai would stick around a bit too long. The team could follow up, but in the end, I believe
gonna
they
get
saw
the
that
ward.
ward get dropped.
Oh, yeah.
They will get rid of it.
Yeah, it was. Normally with that TP mid, where like Zai did, you got to pop the smoke with it. I don't know if they just didn't do it in time or they just somehow got greedy and decided not to smoke, but getting that ward vision early on is a big advantage to have.
30
And even the
seconds
Radiant
to
Sentry
go.
being wasted. EG thought that the smoked up Kunkka got deep in to put a ward, so they waste their Sentry and get dewarded.
So as far as our lanes go, gods, we are going to have Universe heading towards the off lane. Crit looking to help secure this rune for now, but it looks like he might consider dual laning with the axe. Kind of sticky around towards that top side of the map. And then down bottom, you've got a Naga Ursa. There's the rune action. They break out in earnest here. They're going to rev up that Oracle Snare, and they look to follow it up with a Torrent. Bounty runes, though, both grabbed by EG. So they get a lot of extra gold here to kick things off.
Yeah, nice little start for them. TZ's not going to need much help against this Void. If anything, they may just kind of leave him in a 1v1. The fact Void's even got an Iron Talon means he was expecting Coddle to be down in this bottom lane, and it does give you a small edge in these 1v1 matchups when you get the wrong items, or when you're the safe laner and the offlaner's gotten items expecting a tri-lane. Sometimes that alone can mean you have a pretty sizable advantage.
Instead, we do see Zai focusing on the mid lane, trying to slow down Ghost early on. Does leave the Void defend for himself against the Ursa. EG trying to secure the other 2 lanes, but they have already found Crit here. Holds the TP scroll for now. He knows there's a way to cancel it in the form of that Torrent, and First Blood will go to DDC, who snatches it away from End there at the last moment. This will also prompt the rotation of Zai, so it frees up the mid lane a bit. 3-3, even CS score there, and does leave Arteezy in the 1v1 against Void. Generally, Ursa does quite well against melee heroes. Do you expect him to have any trouble against the Void, given the Iron Talon build? Or?
He should be fine. I mean, Yang is actually a pretty good mechanical player, so he's not going to be intimidated by versing Arteezy in a 1v1, but Arteezy, one of the 9k MMR gods, he'll do just fine in a 1v1. But I think the important thing for EG is they recognize that this top lane is going to be weak now. Metamorphosis has been used, so they already rotate up like the Naga Siren, like preemptively even for this a bit. So they really want to try and fight up top now that Metamorph down.
That's a really good point, and EG looking to apply the pressure here as they move on to FY. Quick Riptide, but there's no follow-up for that. No net just yet, but once they get that net, assuming he skills it, They will have a very good follow-up with the Berserker's Call, the Illuminate. That's a lot of damage. Potentially could lead to a kill if someone gets spot.
Ghost in mid is doing just fine against the Tinker, actually leading on CS, so even with the Naga's presence there, that didn't help out Sumail all too much.
And unfortunately, you keep on just right-clicking Ghost, and now he's up to 10 reactive armor stack. Basically just unaffected by the harassment with the 4-man shield as well. Has not yet decided on his second skill, so I mean maybe Sumail waits for a rotation, tries to skill the rocket and get a kill, but we'll have to see, leaving his options open for now.
Yeah, it's always good to say March is pretty useless at level 1, level 2, so if a kill opportunity presents itself, you quickly get some points in the heat-seeking missiles, otherwise you just dump 3 points in March and farm the jungle.
But EG, their overall game plan is clear. They want to bully End a bit in the lane. Still, he's at 11 CS though. Not really being denied, and the one lane EG convincingly winning thus far is Arteezy's bottom lane, 14-5 to the 4-0 of the enemy Void. I mean, pretty much what you would expect if the Void doesn't get help and given the Iron Talon build.
It's so bad because of his starting item and because Arteezy gets very early boots. Yang only now gets his boots. Without the boots, Ursa can just chase you down and kill you. He's got 2 points in the Earthshock, so he's going for the killing build, and Yang has to be very careful. Anytime he gets Earthshock, you can't even time walk away because he'll chase you. You'll still be slowed, so he'll chase you and get another one off.
Torrent, good connection on Universe. He hasn't used the Berserker's Call. He needs that plus armor to get out of this one. I don't know if he makes it. One more auto attack the south. Committed. He will survive barely at that, but Terrorblade can turn on Zai if he's not careful. There's a Torrent available. The Riptide coming through. Illuminate. It's a 2-hero snatch as Crit tries to finish him up, but FY sneaks away. They manage to cage End, and that is the kill they really wanted anyway. So Terrorblade down. DDC forced back to the well. Almost looked like Vici Gaming was going to get 2-3 kills there, but Universe gets off the call and salve and does survive.
He's chasing. What a lucky history. That actually saves his life there.
Yeah, he had no time walk. There isn't a point in overpower yet, so maybe could have TP'd out.
Earthshock has such a short cool. It's a 5-second cooldown, and you can just spam. He could have just used 2 more Earthshocks. Well, I guess he only had 1 more, but 1 more would have been enough.
This is very annoying for Yang. He actually runs in tower range here. He's going to have to time walk it off. We'll make it back
get chased by those
still, though.
Hits, but
that's a lot of damage. And just going to go back to well, it looks like.
I don't know if he scouted the Invis rune or just got lucky. Oh, sorry, the haste rune, or if he knew it was going to be a haste rune.
I just spawned like right as he got there. So I don't think he knew.
That saves his... I mean, his lane's lost, even with the haste rune, but that is at least handy.
They are looking to go here in the mid lane, revving up the Fortune's End. Torrent to follow up Sumail, an important hero to slow down at this stage, and with the chain through from Ghost, they will secure the kill. So Vici Gaming sacrificing this top lane to fight a kill mid, but it will come at cost as End gets chased in the trees. Doesn't have a teleport scroll. He's going to use his illusion to body block, but they quickly clear through that. Battle Hunger taking him down. Universe just 1 or 2 swings of that axe to finish him off, and End gets punished again, crit tanking the tower, but not enough to secure the kill. You go to help the mid lane, and you pay elsewhere. So far, so good for EG. Now 1,000 experience advantage on the back of this.
Yeah, and this is EG just showing, like, perhaps Ursa is like the Void counter. You give Ursa this 1v1 matchup, and then suddenly you can tri-lane the top lane, contest your opposing safe lane carry while winning your safe lane. This is a great laning set from EG.
Yeah, just Arteezy really wants to force out that time walk, and Yang doing a good job at just patiently waiting, trying to waste as much of Arteezy's time as possible before he time walks up once he's directly on the opposite side of the cliff. But still Arteezy winning the lane convincingly. Already has the phase boots, and it's the superior base move speed. Like, you have to time walk away when he gets on you.
This kill? He just time walked away, but there's another Earthshock. I think it's a kill.
Still doesn't have the point, and overpower doesn't need it. Arteezy, Angry Bear, mauls down the Hammerhead man, secures it. So make it 4-2 for EG. Looking good, GoDz.
EG, they're just showing the ability to adjust and kind of not just play the meta. Like, you have Keeper of the Light not going for the Mana Leak build, going for 2 points to Illuminate to contest the top lane. It's completely crushing this Terrorblade. He has low base HP. He's got to shoot through a lot of HP regen. Then similarly, you've got this Ursa in a 1v1 matchup. EG just playing their own style of Dota and making it work.
So, looking overall at the way the game's developed for Vici, they're farming pretty well on their cores. But obviously, it feels like EG do have a bit of an edge here, given that bottom lane. Is there an adjustment for Vici here, or do you just see them toughing out the lanes and looking towards the mid game? What's the play for them?
Tough out the lane, send the TP into the jungle. They've already got End in the jungle. He's He's just going to go to the jungle, have a support leech XP up top to try to get their level 6s. Even if the support dies at this top tier 1 tower, it's not the end of the world. But getting level 6 on Oracle and Kunkka, we saw last game like how important that is. You go through this slow phase where you're like the Sven was farming last game while the support's got level 6, and then you can group up and fight with level 6s. Void as well needs his level 6. So Yang, once he's level 6 and Kunkka's level 6, you can find kills.
Well, at least they can try for it, but meanwhile, EG looking for kills right here and right now as they move on. Zai chasing forward, and maybe DDC going to be able to turn this one around, trying to nuke him down. One more auto attack, it's not quite enough. He's going to need to get off an additional nuke, and he does barely find the Purifying Flames connection, secures the kill. So it's only a Naga and Ghost TP to try and secure that. So it's a 4-hero commitment for a support. Sumail left alone mid. Arteezy continues to win bottom, but it's something for Vici.
It's something, but Arteezy's going to have Blink Dagger very early this game. And life is just going to get more difficult for them. If anything, this is where you're saying, let's try to get someone who can get like a combo with the Void to take out Arteezy here now that you've got Chronosphere out there. There's just no easy combo there. The Chakram's kind of nice, but Ursa can just enrage. He probably won't die in the Chronosphere, which means he'll just enrage afterwards. And without like a Kunkka Ghost Ship, getting a kill on Arteezy is perhaps unlikely.
So we do see Zai trying to balance his time here between top and mid. Rotates back to the mid lane, looks to do some stacking with the mirror image for Sumail. Only got the single stack, but it seems like they want to ensure their Tinker can catch up here, guys. Sumail has opted for 4 points of March, did not really prioritize the kill potential too much, given that he wasn't getting much help in the mid lane. He will be focusing on his own farm moving forward.
The Alright time on his travels, has a double stack in his neutrals, nothing crazy by any means, but has his Soul Ring now, so he can just march, rearm farm the jungle as he pleases now, has that kind of unlimited regen available to him. And he's even using a scan just to try and make sure he's not being rotated on by supports or like I mean, you can see the Void now, you can see the Timber Soul, but before that, it was kind of unsure.
Well, as for EG, they have not quite claimed that tier 1 top just yet, which is a huge tower to take down as it really limits the Dire's ability to farm their jungle safely, and then it opens up those deep ganks onto the Terrorblade, just running right past the tower. But so far Vici have held it, though it has dropped quite low. But not able to fully bring it down just yet. Well, you mentioned the blink on Arteezy, GoDz. If he wants it, he's got it.
That's scary. Not sure.
Creeps are going to see him.
Yeah, he'll pick it up and he'll even show it. Like, I mean, at this point, you don't have to keep it hidden. I'm sure Yang is like probably telling his team like this Ursa's like so fat he's going to have blink anytime now. It's just you don't know where he's going to go. He immediately TP's top. They want to get this tier 1. They want to take over the jungle to shut down the TP's farm.
There is no defending this tower if you're Vici. Like, even if they, maybe if they were already there with the Void, they could try. But once EG are like surrounding the tower, that's just done so.
Good news is there's dire vision around this top lane, so they saw Arteezy TP up here, so that's not signed to try and fight or defend it, it's signed to get the hell out. They make the trade at bottom, Ender's down there with the Metamorph. They want to just get objectives away from EG right now.
And Arteezy now, with his freshly purchased blink, is on the prowl, moving from left to right through the Dire jungle, then back down. We'll start pushing out that lane. But meanwhile, Vici, they continue their invasion even a bit deeper, as Ghost hunts for some stacks, looks to clean those up. So it's Vici playing the game of keep away. A bit reminiscent of what we saw Secret doing in our previous series versus Newbie.
The really nice thing about the Tinker pick is the other 4 heroes like the Axe Ursa who want to play super aggressive can do so without worrying about the TP split push, because Tinker can always defend lanes, and if a fight breaks out he can also show up. So the Tinker's mobility is going to be a huge advantage for EG with the playstyle they want to use here with Axe and Ursa. So this is going to be very annoying for Vici Gaming to try find trades once Tinker has Boots of Travel, which is 170 gold away from.
Zai just consistently keeping this lane shoved in. Mid lane looks like Universe also has a blink, so he jumps in, secures a kill with Arteezy. That's a scary initiation combo. And unless Vici want to commit a chrono, it's going to be tough to stop it, GoDz.
Yeah, this is difficult. And you commit a chrono or something, you've got to try to get kills with the chrono. You can't just use it defensively. They have got level 6 on Kunkka. Oracle now just a couple CS away from it, so this is really where Vici need to start making a stand. Taking team fights, defending these towers. They can't just let EG get complete map control and control over the Dire jungle.
If they get that, they've got Sumail with Boots of Travel already picked up, so pretty decent timing considering he didn't get much help in the mid lane. And he will head towards bottom. Just the raw mobility of this EG draft gods. They not only have the Keeper of the Light, they have the double blinks, and to go with that, they also have crit on the Keeper of the Light, who I imagine will be taking Spirit Form soon. You can move 4 heroes around very quickly. Sumail trying to man up here bottom, but he will get caught up by Yang. The follow-up comes through. Ghost trying to come in on him. Can he bring him down? This Tinker's low. He's not dead just yet, but he will be finished off. Now Universe getting off the call, but EG aren't quite on the same page here, so they lose another. Vici pouncing and taking down 2 cores, only losing a support Kunkka for that. A big win for them, and they transition right into a push with Metamorph, who is very conveniently activated directly at the tower. There is a Son available on Zai, but I don't know if they're going to be able to fight with these cores missing.
Oh, crit! He canceled his TP accidentally.
And they have a Chronosphere available. Yang, he lets it go. Zai could Psalm for this, but they're going to force out. Oh, that shot from a bit too far. If it was on top of crit, he may have died anyway. Instead, Arteezy will look to set up. There's to illuminate the follow-up. Will it be there, Arteezy? Trying to blink in. He's only got the level 2 Thunderclap. And Yang is threatening to go on him. I think this wants to help bodyguard his teammates. He will manage to get off the time dilation. He gets netted for his trouble. He time walks back a bit. So you got to be careful about running past this Ursa. Yang taking heavy damage. The missiles continue to fly through. Tinker not able to finish him, though. His Ghost moves in. He says, screw you, sir, but he may have gone in too far. Rockets there. Dunk number 1 from Universe. Will he be finding more is the real question. Vici now frantically retreating. A bridge too far with that last chrono, and now they may lose an additional hero. Arteezy diving in. DDC caught out and dead. Make it 3 overall for Vici, including the Kunkka from earlier, who end up dropping. And with that, EG, they salvage the fight, and they will extend their lead.
Yeah, Ghost tried to make a kind of flashy play. Knowing that Arteezy was playing so upfront and aggressive, he couldn't help out his teammates. He tried to get the backlines, but EG coordinated with the Axe and Tinker to take him down, and that just led to an EG massacre in that bottom lane.
They do have boat, though, guys. If EG group up here, could be dangerous. Arteezy already dropping the Oog. Will Roshan get that timely pass? The chain in! Ghost, that was ugly indeed! And now the boat comes through. It's on 2. Just waiting for the Roshan. He's gotten 3 of them. He just instantly cracked open. He even got the Roshan kill. It's a catastrophe in the pit. The boys in blue are going to melt here. Gandalf will die once. He's going to die again. EG get absolutely brutalized. And it's a straight plummet down for their new roster. Vici are now in charge of this game.
That was so close. If Arteezy got another Enrage off, it was 1 second away from cooling down. He could have probably been okay there. Used it to finish off Roche, pick up the Aegis, and it's a very different fight. But Timbersaw comes in just in time. He got so much gold out of that. Suddenly he's the most farmed hero in the game. Suddenly Vici Gaming, even without Chronosphere, will start taking objectives and find themselves in a much better position than they were earlier.
Well, I think Jack was onto something with this Ghost stuff. Oh, what a great play by him. Went a little bit too far earlier, but you know, you said it with EG, and you know, it's better to be a little bit over aggressive, and at least then you can learn your limits with mid 1, as we saw earlier. They try to move on to Ghost. Speaking of over aggression, maybe we'll get caught out here, but he does have a chrono, and Yang is starting to move into position to help him out. Will chain away. He is really playing on a knife's edge, constantly taking the fight to EG and forcing them back.
Yeah, they get the tier 1 mid, so that's now both mid and bottom tower. Likely give them much better control around the Roche area, where right now there's a lot of radiant vision, but Aegis isn't in the picture right now. They're probably just going to play a slow pace, farm it up a bit, wait for their ultis to cool down, and then smoke up and try to take another fight against EG. Really good sequence of events for Vici Gaming.
So, as for EG, is this a period where they need to play defense? Do you feel like they can make a move right now, or is it too risky to do that?
I think their lineup shines when they're playing aggressive. That's where players like Universe and Arteezy on these heroes will be at their best. You don't want to play defensive and on the back foot with Axe and Ursa. You want to be looking for kills, applying pressure, trying to find pickoffs around the map, and then have Tinker the one farming elsewhere and then joining the fight later on for cleanup. So imagine EG will continue to play aggressive, maybe wait for like an item pickup or 2, but for the most part, they don't want to sit back while a Terrorblade Timbersaw Void farm. The late game, to me, definitely favors Vici Gaming.
FY now moseying down towards that bottom lane. It is one area where EG do not excel. They're not particularly good at hitting towers, so even though they shove the lane in, this bottom tier 1 still stands, so too does the mid tower. It's only the tower top where they were creep skipping that they've actually gotten yet, GoDz. Meanwhile, Vici have taken 2, and anytime Terrorblade wins a fight, he's taking more towers. No worry for their lineup, I feel.
Yeah, that's where that Roche fight was such a problem for them, because there was the tier 1 tower at mid that falls on top of the losing the Roche and the kills. And immediately Vici Gaming now go into a smoke. They just picked up the Bloodstone. No hesitation from them. They want to fight.
And they have Chrono ready to go as well. Arteezy, extremely low, is going to have to go all the way back to Fountain. And they have even seen Universe. They got the X off. He tries to blink away. Come back here, says FY. And that will be the first bonus Bloodstone charge of the game for GoDz. They really didn't have to commit much, just the smoke for that. Still Chrono ready to go. And they are bull rushing down mid.
They caught a little bit of vision of crit, although it doesn't look like they'll catch him out.
Very confident and aggressive play here from VG as Yang continues to try and walk off these endless spamming missiles, but the rockets chunk him down. Tower will fall. Dyer grabs that. Vici Gaming, eyes on the objectives. Extend their map control, and it's not just the towers. Look at these wards they have gotten down.
Oh yeah,
and the mid D ward just barely missing.
They're just getting objectives one by. They're getting objectives after they get a pick off with a smoke, and then they don't overstay their welcome. Axis respawning kind of soon. The Metamorph doesn't last all that long, so they don't want a team fight to break out with Metamorph already used and the Axe respawning. So they've already retreated. They're back to farming, playing that kind of farming efficiency game, which is the style EG used to play and doing a great job at.
Oh, good smoke by EG. They found Ghost, but Yang's ready. The Chrono comes through. The Psalm to counter this Chrono, though it wasn't really the best as it did catch Ghost out. They're going to try and surround him and then pound him down. Can they do it? Ghost gets off the Chakram. Arteezy's already committed the ultimate, but he is almost able to get the kill. The dunk from long range. Universe blinks on the cliff, chops him down from above. And with both big ultimates committed, the Psalm, the Chrono, both teams will back away. Oh, that almost looked like he was going to make it out. The Universe slamming the door.
Yeah, FY could have thrown the Ghost Ship earlier for some of the damage resistance, but he must have felt that Timbersaw would be okay with the false promise, and he wanted to perhaps save the Ghost Ship for the actual kill potential on when EG retreated. If you get an X Ghost Ship, you can do a lot of damage. So, fortunately, not throwing it perhaps costs Timbersaw his life, and Vici Gaming will have to reset. Wait for Chronosphere, wait for Metamorph, and then we'll see them make their next move.
Like Oracle working towards the Aether Lens here, so he can more safely position himself behind the Terrorblade. And speaking of that Terrorblade, he is your leader when it comes to net worth. And interestingly, GoDz, we are not going to see the Ags Rush from Sumail. That's generally been the Tinker build versus Terrorblade, but he goes for damage, single target damage. He goes for Dagon.
Oh. Yeah, I was expecting just Aether Lens, Ags, like you mentioned, standard Tinker build. It's very good against TB, but Dagon also, no problems with this time against TB. If the Axe initiates right, you've got a huge amount of burst damage to follow it up, so different approach coming out from Sumail. Also means if he finds someone like Oracle in the backlines, he can instantly burst them down, potentially from full HP. So something you can't do with the Aghanim's Aether Lens build.
Guys, while we have a lull here in the action, a quick reminder for those who didn't know, there are 2 games going on at once in MDL. You've also got OG versus IG Vitality over on Beyond the Summit 2. Kylo Guy and Merlini bringing you that action, so if you want to check that out, you can keep both streams open as well. We'll have 2 games going pretty much all day today throughout the group stage. With that said, though, continue to see EG just shoving out the lane, playing slowly here. Next Roche coming relatively soon, about a minute and a half to go before he's up. And do you give either team a big advantage here as far as the Roche pit, GoDz? What are you looking at with that respawn coming soon?
Perhaps slight edge Vici Gaming if they have all their cooldowns and ultimates. I think and they have vision. It's going to come down to me for vision. If Tinker can get in a position where he's not scouted and he's on a cliff or something, he's maybe not going to get caught out and get off a lot of march, then it's hard for Vici Gaming to come in and contest. But without the march down, if let's say Vici Gaming have a cliff ward around the Roach pit, then it's Vici Gaming's advantage.
Sumail toying a bit here with Vici Gaming, threatening that TP in bottom, but that would be a very bold TP under the tower. The 3-4 Vici Gaming here is off the map, though in fact, look at the map awareness here by Arteezy. Pretty much draws the exact line that Vici Gaming are walking, though Although he draws
the
it.
illusion block or something. And then...
Crit may
Wow.
die anyway. There's the X, the turret. They still find him. Our Tor knew, but it's not going to save Crit. Or maybe it will. Oh, never mind. Last auto attack from the Terrorblade. We'll get the kill. So, only a Keeper of the Light in the end. They commit a smoke and 5 heroes for it. And EG's still working on this bottom tower.
Yeah, same play from Vici. You get your ultimates, you smoke up, find a kill, then get a tower with Metamorph. And they'll get 2 towers this time, so really valuable for them. Void in position to Chronosphere anyone who comes to defend the tier 2, so not going to happen for EG. They've got to give up both towers, and then ideally get this trade at bottom for a tier 1. But Vici Gaming already tipping down bottom to try and contest.
FY is in position, and he finds the X here. Instead, RTZ says, oh, you thought I was coming to run? I was actually going to fight. They will catch him out. The X dragging him out of the Chrono, but leaving Universe on his own. RTZ now looking to retreat outside, setting up shop with the Song of the Siren, then going for the TP out to Mail. Maybe tries to find a quick kill with the missile, but there's too many heals. FY survives, lives to tell the tale. So Vici with Song down, Chrono also committed, and Roshan respawning in about a minute. Gotta wonder if either team take a fight there.
Vici Gaming are just playing so well together as a team. Like, FY's TP down there to get the catch, and even before he uses X, the Void's already there to save him. Because he X's the Ursa, and then that's where Universe and RTZ are like, great, he's here. There was actually EG baiting that X to get the kill on Kunkka, but Void was already there with a Chrono and doesn't care. He doesn't care that he traps the Kunkka in with him because more backup TPs come, and Vici Gaming just doing an awesome job protecting each other, backing each other up when they go for these aggressive plays.
Yeah, Yang has certainly been on his A game, and I think making a strong case for how sorely he was missed at this year's International, at least thus far. EG, though, they move in, crit, trying to get a deep ward down. He will successfully plant it. Does scout out a couple of Vici heroes hiding out in the mid lane, so it gives Sumail a lot more confidence to move back to the jungle. Opts for the level 2 Dagon, and then goes back for the point booster. So maybe that Ags, maybe that Bloodstone coming next.
Probably
More
recognizing that EB's starting to become a bit of a bigger problem. Dagon 2, he's like, enough burst damage now, let's get the AoE to deal with, the extra AoE to deal with TB illusions.
The problem is
Fighting isn't working for EG. So.
End is a big problem now, guys. If they commit everything just to deal with that Chrono, and they haven't dealt with the Terrorblade, they've got an Oracle behind him, potentially the boat to keep him alive. This guy's got 3 very scary items at this stage of the game, and could quickly take over, especially given the build the Tinker's gone for. He is starting to get towards the Ags, but Sumail is not there yet, so there's a window here for Vici, should they find it.
I'm sure that's what Sumail recognized when he's building this Dagon. He's like, okay, as much as I want to go more points in Dagon, that push could be coming soon with an Aegis. And if they get Roshan and then start pushing and I don't have Ags set, we could just lose the game. He needs to have Ags before an Aegis push comes.
Well, 25 minutes in, score 9 to 11. About a 3,000 gold lead and only 1,000 experience advantage for Vici Gaming. A minimal lead at this stage of the game. This is definitely the closest game I think we've had yesterday at 25 minutes in.
Doesn't look like Vici Gaming gonna necessarily pull further away with it. EG have really good capabilities to stall the game, find pickoffs, play scrappy with the Tinker, defend high ground with the Collar. We saw that last game from Secret, so not gonna be an easy one for Vici Gaming to secure. It's very similar to that game 3 we saw between Secret and Newbie, where it comes down to Vici Gaming finding pickoffs if they want to push high ground. They can't expect to just straight up 5-man push high ground. Even with an Aegis, Tinker and Keeper of the Light just gonna be so good at stalling that high ground push.
Not sure, and I'm also not sure that they have the same like farm advantage either. That game the Sven just was like 2-3 items ahead, but this game you've got 4, arguably 5. The Ursa's like decent at killing ancients and bigger creeps. At least 4 heroes that are really good at farming on the EG side, and also good at spreading the map, and so it feels like not only will Vici struggle without a good Chrono, but they're not going to have the colossal farm advance that Newbie managed to stack up at game number 3.
They're going to be slow rolling it much more with the lead they've got. They'll take towers undefended here at bottom, but imagine they'll be looking to fall back, take Roshan now. That's all the tier 2 towers. They stick around at bottom. If anything, they're probably thinking, let's force EG to come back and defend, because they see heroes mid. They don't want EG to be able to be active on the map. No Blink Dagger on Void means their initiation is a bit more limited, and as soon as that Tinker Spam comes in, I think they'll be realizing they gotta defend. They gotta back.
As for Vici, no sign of a pipe. Actually, they do have a pipe under construction. GoDz picking up the hood now. But no mechs, so their sustain is, for the time being, a bit mediocre. Really just the Oracle to deal with it. And they are going to end up backing off entirely. And all the while, EG just playing the economy game, farming the enemy woods. Arteezy still doing okay on the Ursa, considering this is not really the best farming carry. And Crit keeping his farm up, and a very slow game here. We haven't seen a kill in quite some time now.
Yeah, Arteezy's got 4k gold, but he's probably thinking about item choices. Goes into the Diffusal now. To be able to chase some of these targets down a bit better. Also allows him to purge off the Fate's Edict, which has probably been causing him some problems with the disarm, so not a bad item selection by any means. Any
key timings coming up for you? It doesn't really seem like either team's in a huge hurry. As the Tinker Axe is now out.
At some point, Terrorblade is going to want to just pick up a BKB to help push high ground with. That to me is the key timing, but it's also a timing you don't want to rush. You want to make sure if he goes it now,
Sumail, this could be bad. He's actually blinked forward to the jungle. A bit greedy by Sumail. He may kill off Yang though, who time walked in. Will be saved by the Oracle. Time walks out. They did not commit the chrono either, so a very disciplined takedown there. That was just pure anticipation, as they're now going to look to find Crit as well. Both Torrent X combines with GoDz. Now up to 11, well, back up to 11 Bloodstone charges, I should say. They expected Tinker to TP top before he even made that move, guys. All 5 of them heading that way, and then Sumail had the misfortune to blink into the jungle to farm an extra stack of creeps. And, he paid.
He blinked into a TP illusion, it looks like, and the TP illusion hit him, stopped his blink, and then TP's like, Timbersaul's like, oh, great, he's got no blink, gets there in time to Yules him, and then everyone comes in. Like, great sequence of SVG gaming, and kind of, I think, a good example. Like, we've seen this in both the Secret series and now the EG series. The split push style of play is really fallen out of favor because teams are getting so good at finding pickoffs and punishing split push, and that's what we saw last game by Newbie and this game here by Vici Gaming. Eventually, you'll make a mistake when split pushing. You have to predict your opponent's movement and play so perfectly that there's no room for error when you're split pushing.
So Aegis now snagged up, and GoDz will be the one to take it. And already closing in on his next big item. We'll grab the ultimate orb. Curious to see what this is going to be. Most often the Scotty. Not sure. I mean, what else could it? Lincoln's, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got him. Probably just Scotty. He wants all the extra stats for his illusions to tank up as much as possible and push with. You're like a Scotty into BKB. Even the BKB again, it's not like a must buy. If you feel like you can find the pickoffs, you can just go Scotty Butterfly and have the pushing power, but you need the pickoffs.
Oh, Universe top lane. They're engaging onto GoDz. They want to crack this Aegis quickly. They bring in the whole gang. They will kill him once. Do they dare stick around and try to kill him twice? Yang's in position. They TP out Universe. GoDz actually chaining away. Not sure his team will get there in time to assist him. Everyone gets out cleanly. EG. Nice job there.
Arteezy's still
split
pushing.
And as he is, Yang is on the hunt. Does he just blow the chrono? Not there quite in time, just about a second or two late. Good snipe.
Yeah, take out the Aegis and get out without casualties. Timbersaw perhaps thought they were going on him a second time, because if he knew they were going to retreat, he could have gone aggressive and tried to stop a TP with Yules, but...
What do you think of the build this game from GoDz? Going for the early hood, then back into the Lotus Orb? If they want to go high ground, do you think they need a pipe? Or
I think that says they don't want to go high ground. If they want to go high ground, you may as well upgrade it. It's a, what, 1,400 gold or something to get the recipe and headdress, so it's not a big gold investment to upgrade to pipe. This, to me, suggests he's going to be off playing solo, pushing lanes, doing what he was doing there, and hopefully not getting caught out. And that Vici Gaming are happy to go late game. Void isn't even going for link. They're not going for initiation. TB's just farming up more and more items. It really suggests to me they're just trying to reach this like 6-slotted stage where they'll get a pickup and win the game from... You get farmed enough, you get one pickup, you win the game. You get a lane of racks. So I think Vici Gaming are just playing for the late game with items like the just casual hood.
And obviously, even though it's an off-lane Void, with Manta, Vlad's up, Tread's complete, Diffusal likely coming next, he gets scary. The TB already closing in on ultra late game items, and even the support duo, the Kunkka and the Oracle, scale quite well. Not necessarily in terms of items, but just in terms of their abilities through that late game. So, matching up against that, do you favor either team? Like, as we head towards that late game, it is very even overall. Only a 5k gold lead.
Yeah. Kind of theorycrafted a bit earlier on, like the Tinker matching up really well against the TBN's illusions because of the bouncing laser, the 4-hero missiles, but I think ultimately the team fight that the Void brings to the table, the amount of damage Timbersaw can dish out, I still favor Vici Gaming's late game. Burst is a hero that kind of falls off, gets kited a bit. Axe isn't a necessarily amazing late game hero in his own right, so I think Vici Gaming have a more well-rounded late game, despite the Tinker countering TB. I think looking at the other cores and the bigger picture of things, it's the Vici Gaming favor the longer this goes on.
They are going to slowly chip on some of these side lanes here. Pushing in bottom for Vici, but EG pushing out top. You see the Diffusal Blade now complete on Arteezy. No Ghost Scepters picked up for Vici though. So, nothing particularly that it counters this game. Pretty standard Ursa item.
Yep, just getting him to help deal with heroes like kiting him, getting away. Nothing. The Fate's Edict from Oracles can be a bit annoying, but yeah.
I mean, that's the other hero that may fall off later on, is Arteezy looking to move in top lane, lays onto Ghost, but Ghost is very tanky, and the Void's going to arrive, blocks down Arteezy, so Chrono committed. Rocket's still coming through, but Ghost being kept alive by that Oracle for now, and he will end up getting the kill back up to 12 Bloodstone charges. Meanwhile, down in the river, and slaying Universe, but not able to fully finish him off. Slashes him low, forces him to TP out. And now
There's
they move
the
towards
pick-off.
the Ancients.
Arteezy was about to buy his Axe too, so he got picked off. Now he has no buyback.
But they haven't seen any of the components, so they probably have no idea.
Yeah. They don't know the buyback status, and it is Tinker you're pushing into. So I think even if they went for a push, there's a good chance defending without Ursa wouldn't be a problem for them. But you can see here they're not even posturing to push. They're splitting up to farm top, to farm the jungle, farm both jungles, which is the smart thing to do when you're in this position where you can't push high ground win the game. You need to play the economy game where you're not just farming as much as you can, you're taking away your opponent's farm, limiting the resources available to them. And that means EG, if they're being out-farmed, they've got to make an aggressive play, because otherwise they'll slowly lose the game. Their play is to smoke up, look for another pickoff.
Well, they do pin out the top lane where Yang is waiting. Does not have a Chrono ready to go. Universe can initiate this. A good jump will be a clean pick. Gets the call off. That's the take-on follow-up. Sumail zaps and smithereens. Finishes him off with ease.
It's even getting recalled. It's like, I'll make sure you come, whether or not you're TPing or not.
Come over here. So, nice pick up there on the Void. It does happen while Chrono's on cooldown anyway. And still, the rest of EG farming, but it's the kind of kill that EG needs to stay in this game.
Unfortunately for them, it's still a smoke, and at this point, smoke is a very limited resource for them. Just, I believe, the one smoke left back at base, so
Nothing
it's not like
for
contesting
7.5 minutes.
Oh, is that Vici Gaming smoke that's left? Oh, there's one in the shop. There's one in EG's shop. But...
Oh, and I'm either on team. So, whoops. Yeah, okay, so they have one smoke left. Vici, none for 7.5. And one on DDC. So both teams pretty low in the smoke department.
I think it's more important for EG because they need smoke to get on the map and find those pickoffs.
Sumail. X is gonna find him. The follow-up comes through from the Timbersaw. Chaining over the top. Can he finish him off in time? Sumail will end up dropping in the end. Out for 70. No buyback. He continues to upgrade this Dagon. It's level 5.
You could have a level 4 Dagon and still have buyback.
I think they saw the Dagon level too. He was there for a while. Because they're marching down mid, gods.
I mean, even if you're not sure of his buyback sets, you want to force out the buyback. Universe is taking away. Yep, just barely. Wow, that's such a big deal.
This is a long time not to have Tinker, and it's your best high ground defense hero, gods. Keeper of the Light is decent, but he can't really deal with that main Terrorblade. He doesn't even manage to finish off the Illusion Army on his own. If the Tinker was here, this push would be over, but instead, Terrorblade quickly burning down the tower. Vici Gaming not even needing to resort to the X marks the spot siege shenanigans. Instead, a clean take, and now focusing on the big objective here. They want the prize, they want the melee. Universe will go in on to end, but he's going to be kept alive for the time being. Illuminate's not enough. Oh, they could really use the follow-up damage. Chrono is available now, and they turn to the melee now. Still Yet to see a stun from Zai. He's trying to time it right around the Tinker respawn. But already, Vici are out. And they get the Rex. Oh, big mistake there by Sumail. And gotta give credit to Vici for the punish. And they might find him again. He just TP's bottom lane and they catch him once more. He tries to zap End down with him. Already having committed to Sunder. They're gonna drop that chrono to ensure their carry doesn't die. Vici playing as a team. And Sumail playing on his own.
Good save, Chrono. If one more Dagon would have killed End, I think he didn't have mana for the Dagon. At least he died and says he doesn't have mana. But if he does have mana there, you're not clicking his mana. He could kill End, and that's like really bad. So, great kill. Another 50 seconds without Tinker. Doesn't look like they're in position to push a lane. Also, the Metamorphosis 50 seconds on cooldown, so it kind of matches up with the Tinker. But hey, it's a great pickoff nonetheless.
It is worth pointing out, fantastic ward there on the cliff. This is an anti-Tinker ward. There's a couple of other cliffs in the jungle around the map that can punish, but Vici have just been all over him. You know, they might not have the best vision heroes, but if they get wards up, then that X is scary.
And that's where, like, having those two wards is just a huge amount of difference for Vici Gaming. They'll get another pick off here. The wards just catching out people constantly. And they're grouping up towards his top lane. Arteezy cancels his TP.
Going to use that enrage to get out of it, but at the same time, that means he's not going to have it for the damage reduction. Once they finally jump on top of him, they have to blow a song here. It's only a level 2 song. 2 minutes without it, and they've still managed to find Arteezy. They are going to lose a third hero. Tinker's back, but EG getting picked off one by one in their debut game, getting punished.
Naga was teeping out like, okay, I slept, Arteezy's going to blink and be fine, but the torrent stopped the blink.
Universe will go next. They just keep on getting isolated and surrounded here. They might lose that boy. No! They're there to save him, just throwing the rockets, and I don't think it's enough damage to kill him. Barely maybe through that Oracle heal. They'd have to double buyback to hold high ground. It's a huge vote investment. Sumail dies again. It's 3 times in like 4 minutes. This man just can't stay alive. Oh, EG actually looks like pushed Ghost. They're out of the Chronos here with the blinding light. Universe now gonna end up dropping. Crits going next. It's all going to shit for EG. They will completely collapse here down the stretch. Vici Gaming end it with an end ultra kill. I don't think I've seen a team fall apart faster than that, guys.
This is like Return of FY God. I was, for a second after that torrent at the top, I was like, who's playing Kunkka? And I'm like, all right, FY's playing Kunkka. It all made sense all of a sudden. That was like 3 or 4 pickoffs on a row at key times, and it was the Kunkka of FY getting the pickoffs, landing that torrent there to stop the blink out from Arteezy. Just great job punishing EG trying to play the split push game. Vici Gaming were just on point this game.
So, overall thoughts on the game? It sounds like you're saying basically they got outplayed, not outpicked.
Absolutely. I mean, Vici Gaming, I mean, it was 2 very different styles where Vici Gaming have the team fight, they have to play pickoff. They have got to catch EG. EG perhaps didn't get enough early out of the Ursa. I mean, Arteezy, look at his end game score. He's 2-4-2. He didn't really feel like a threat at any point in the game after the laning stage, despite how well he dominated and crushed Yang in lane. Vici Gaming played like a team. EG just played like a team of 5 stars this game. I mean, this is just the first game. It's also the draft. Like, this is a draft where you're looking to have Arteezy go off solo kill people as Ursa. You're looking to have Sumail play Tinker and do solo stuff. So it's the nature of the draft where you're trying to draft around your team of star players, but Vici Gaming just too well coordinated and just punished anytime someone on EG was alone.
Man, they do feel solid though, and I gotta say, I think for me, Ghost, probably the player I was most pleasantly surprised by. I haven't seen him play at all, but heard big things coming in, and he had that one overextension early, but man, guys, he came back in a huge way, made a lot of plays for the team down the stretch, and really showed that like he justified that early support he got from the supports roaming in.
And Timbersaw was such a great pick. He really shined, and they picked in such a good game. And boy, that was just such good Dota from Vici Gaming.
Wow, EG, they collapsed like a house of cards in game 1, but it is a best of 3. Losing team down to the lower bracket here in Group B, GSL Group Action. Not eliminated yet though, guys. Even should they lose in their second series, the loser of that would just be in the lower bracket when we get to the main event. So with that, I'm LD, he's GoDz. Stick around. You're watching MDL Autumn 2016.